Welcome to the Taxmen. We're back for episode 6. I'm Spencer Dar, and joining me as always is my brother,
Drew.
Hey, Drew.
Hey.
So, this week's episode was called Church in Ruins, directed by Miguel Sapochnik.
Something like that.
Don't know how to say his last name precisely, but I do know he directed Hard Home, the great Game of Thrones episode from last season.
The best Game of Thrones episode that's ever been done.
Some may have compared it to the greatest scene ever shot in television history. Some men.
Like us.
Like maybe me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This was my favorite episode so far in the season. I think it was definitely stronger than episode 4, which was the other sort of action-packed episode. And I think probably stronger than last week's episode, although I loved last week's episode a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we've one of us has been saying that it's their favorite episode of the series, of the season every week for the last 3 weeks.
You know, it's weird. I feel like the show has taken the turn, I guess. I don't think I'm alone in this either. I really do think it's really improved.
Oh no, I totally agree. I'm enjoying this episodes a lot more. I'm enjoying the way all the characters are moving around, and there's been a lot of great scenes too, which really help. So even though this week there was some weak stuff, like the entire scene with Frank and the kid.
What was up with that? Anyway, we'll talk about that. I've got some interesting ideas there.
But then you have other scenes to kind of balance that out that are really exceptional.
Like the last 20 minutes was great.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes with those two different, the orgy house and then the whole story with Frank and these new gangsters, these Hispanic gangsters that have entered the fray.
Yeah. It was good. It was really good. Lots to talk about. Lots of character development. And I feel like less fluff. I mean, besides the random, unnecessary scene with Paul, or with Vince Vaughn sort of going and appeasing the kid, I feel like a lot of the fluff was cut. I feel like a lot of the fluff still lies with Woodrow's whole character arc.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was hoping he was going to get shot in the head in that last scene.
It said he had the world's best line. Look at all these signatures.
There's signatures all over it, and it must be a contract.
Basically, we've got evidence.
We've got illegally obtained evidence that's dismissible in court.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these guys are so clueless and so bad at being detectives that, like,
oh my gosh,
they need a list of names. Who knows if they'll be able to identify the signatures. Hopefully there's some kind of spelled out name line. A printed line beforehand. So
I'm sure they can figure out signatures, I hope.
That's a stretch. These aren't exactly top of their class detectives.
No, they're like the bottom barrel detectives.
They're surprisingly employed detectives.
Also, were they just given free reign to just go around and punch and beat the crap out of people at will and like without repercussions? Because that seems to be the way the second half of the season has handled it.
I'm guessing that since they are commissioned by the State Department, that they have a little bit more leeway with that element of,
or are they just not telling
law enforcement? I just don't think they're telling anyone. I think they're just reckless. Honestly, I just think they're reckless.
They are, in the season of like police brutality and all of that sort of hyper awareness, these guys are certainly pillars of that community, just going around and beating the crap out of anyone, pistol whipping people
of arrogance, if you will.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Unbridled arrogance.
Yeah, especially for like characters like Annie, who got had the book thrown at her for sleeping with a coworker. Now they're just like knifing people and punching people, pistol whipping folks. It's crazy.
Well, Annie has really bad social skills, as we've sort of seen throughout this whole series.
Yeah.
She has almost no consideration for the effects her actions have on anyone else. I'm not even saying anyone around her. I'm just saying I don't think she understands the repercussions of things she does for anyone, anywhere. The whole world.
Yeah, and we actually got a picture of that with her little knife fight training simulator with her sister.
Yeah, totally. She's completely ambivalent as her sister's sort of laying out the reality that she walks into in the final scene at the party, the orgy party.
Oh yeah.
And she could have used that advice because things got dicey.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed she was going to just tank that whole thing. And she pretty much did, although she got super lucky by finding her missing person there.
Yeah, that was some
was that
Deus
was
Ex
that the
Machina.
reason they were there?
No. That was just
seemed...
another random, like, plot colliding with this one.
Yeah, I'm getting a little frustrated with those.
Well, they've spread so much out that it's really hard not to. I mean, they just have to sort of try to weave this stuff together, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The coincidences are all over the place, it seems, this season. It seems to be the only reason they happen to... even Velcoro and Woodrow overhearing, like, the evil henchmen talking about their evil plans.
Yeah, the land deal. Let us go partake with our hookers.
Yeah.
It's a full moon, sir.
Yeah.
The best night for making deals.
I'm gonna leave these super important files in this unsecured location.
But first I'll hell out the moon.
Ridiculous. Oh my gosh, ridiculous.
Yeah. I sort of expected like the Penguin from Batman to be sitting in the corner.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly correct.
So, yeah, those guys are pretty lucky. I'm also, we've got like that random missing person thing, and then we've got the whole Blue Diamond storyline, which is like driving a lot of the action now, and it's what's going on with the Blue Diamonds? They're worth $2.5 million, so it's just a big deal that he left them in a security deposit box.
I guess. I don't know. Did they... Well, the Blue Diamonds were taken out of evidence, right?
They went missing from the evidence room?
I don't know.
I thought they found them in the security box like a few weeks after Casper's death.
Maybe. I thought at one point they were put into evidence and then they disappeared from evidence, and that's sort of what they're tracking right now.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I guess that tells you
That's
just how
plausible.
how well this season is doing, like, telling us where these leads are going and how they're tracking these things down.
Yeah, I mean, with Stan, a lot of people were joking after the episode, like, who the hell is Stan? What, like, who is this guy, Stan? Why are we like visiting his widow and child?
Who is Stan? Did you find out?
Well, I knew who Stan was the whole time. Stan is the guy who got capped, presumably by Blake, that they found after that one meeting Frank had with Ossip.
That's right. Okay, gotcha.
And he's like an inconsequential henchman in like the first 2 episodes.
And then suddenly we need to like see his grieving family, I guess.
Apparently so. Apparently we needed to see his grieving family and have a heart-to-heart with his kid who forces up a few tears after playing a lonely game of catch by himself. Wall ball.
Oh, yeah. You have a heart of pure gold, son.
Yeah, so the Blue Diamond's lost on me a little bit. I'll have to look up to see if they're lost in the evidence room. I feel ashamed admitting that I'm not following this storyline, and I was hoping you could fill me in because I really have lost my way on the Blue Diamond plot.
I have no idea. I think the important tracking point at this point is the hookers going around Semyon through this like house that they have all these high-end clients. I think that's the one we're supposed to be keyed in on, and of course the missing person that seems to be connected to it all.
Yeah, who knows how these Blue Diamonds are going to come crashing into our world again. I suppose it's inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 2 episodes left. They've got to start tying things up. It seems like they're moving in that direction. The momentum is certainly there, so...
Oh, yeah, and if there's any repercussions from their actions this week, things should be pretty hot around the state investigation trio.
Yeah, I don't
Annie
know.
murdered
honestly...
up to 2 people, definitely 1.
Did she kill the senator? No way.
Was that who she was being stalked by?
I think so, yeah.
That was a senator?
I assumed that was the same senator from last episode that we got his picture a few times of. But I don't know. Maybe he was just an oil person.
Yeah, he just seemed like a pretty cheesy...
I don't think he got stabbed, though.
I thought he was just a generic...
just had his...
Oh, he got stabbed, for sure. I think.
He did? I just thought she broke his wrist and then pushed him down.
Maybe that was it. I thought she threw a slice into his side or something.
She moves fast. You never know.
You never know, but she definitely guts the other guy. He was about to choke her to death.
Oh yeah, got everything except that like last knife across the throat thing, and it wasn't necessary apparently.
Yeah, it wasn't. She got him to all the other places. Sir, how Sir Barristan bled out. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Barristan. Not this epic of a death.
I really like that scene though, with Annie infiltrating the sex ring, and
yeah,
you just see a bunch of hookers. Apparently, they're all porn stars that they hired on set for this shoot.
Yeah, I like the also. I like the parallels to Rust sort of infiltrating the biker gang from first season.
We're definitely on the underbelly, but this isn't the underbelly of society. This is like the upper crust of society.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's sort of a script flip. Annie leverages her sexuality, but boy, does it ever leverage against her.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That scene was pretty intense, and I liked it a lot. I love the sort of surreal flashback type stuff to her. I'm assuming like child molestation thing that was going on with creepy McBeard man.
100%. Bob,
yeah,
Bob from Twin Peaks. If you've seen Twin Peaks, you'll understand the reference.
That was amazing. Yeah, super disturbing. Explains a lot about her character. Really sort of sets the page. And I love that type of exposition in the midst of the action, as opposed to like a lot of the backstory that we've been getting this season, which is
opposed to her like staring at her kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, monologuing about something.
Agreed.
This was a lot more subtle, really interesting. I thought they did a nice job.
I like the burnout effect they had on the film for the flashbacks too. Really crisped up. That was good. And then I like the tight shots, that sort of warble that follows her around. The camera, how it like just sort of follows her messed up face. Although I don't understand how throwing up made her suddenly conchable. Because
I don't think she was fully conchable. I just think she was a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess, because, like, she got spray, and I don't understand how throwing up would have anything to do with something you, like, sprayed on your tongue.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Seems like that's already hit the bloodstream. It's, like, a little too late, honey.
Another convenient plot moment, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess they just wanted to see it. I guess we just had to see her vomit. Get the demons out.
Absolutely. It was cool. It was a good scene. It was really interesting. I liked it a lot more than the... I liked the shootout from earlier. I thought that was incredibly intense. We talked about that a lot. But this was another really cool set-piece moment that showed that like they were really amping up the pressure and the action and the drama.
Yeah, and it had a good visual style, which this season has largely lacked in terms of a confidence behind the camera. And so that was really cool. It was nice to see something done by a professional. Not that the other episodes weren't done by professionals, but that was a really cool scene that took like clearly some authority on the way they were going to interpret that scene.
Absolutely. Besides just overhead shots of highways.
Yeah, and I just liked it like that. I like that drugged out haze.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was pretty strong. But there's lots else to talk about in the episode, almost all of which involves Velcoro.
Yeah, we start the episode with Velcoro, and we end with Velcoro power sliding.
Yeah, he's quite the wheelman.
So he goes over to Frank's house. We think that it's time for some steel justice, but we don't get much of that.
Yeah, you called that last week. You just didn't think that this was gonna. I kind of wanted it to resolve in some type of shootout because that would be kind of interesting. But they're still friends, I guess, sort of.
Yeah, I don't know what like. So Frank basically tells Ray that like, listen, man, you were already a monster. I didn't unleash anything. I just gave you a name. I didn't know what you were gonna do with it, and Ray's like, okay.
But he did. I mean, what cop goes to talk to seedy McBusinessman if he's not there to work outside the law?
Yeah, and how does Frank not know that this is going to earn him a favor? Like, I felt like Frank just played dumb and Ray walked along with him. The arguments coming from Simeon weren't convincing, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I thought they were consistent. I thought they fit with Simeon's character and his sort of philosophy about, you're sort of born with an attitude and a perspective, and that the rest of your life is just sort of living that out. So I don't know. I thought it was consistent with his character, but yeah, it was unconvincing. I still thought at the end of that, Woodrow probably should have just pulled the trigger, but who knows? Apparently not.
Yeah. Well, Frank needs Velcoro, and I think if Velcoro is going to stay alive, he needs Frank to be alive in a way.
Yeah, I do think that Frank calling him out as if this is your sort of suicide attempt here, I prefer it to not be involved. And I think that's a good point. I think at multiple points in this episode, maybe even, Velcoro is trying to commit suicide in sort of a pseudo-honorable death by cop sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or death by overdose when he took all of that cocaine.
The mountain, the small hill of cocaine that he climbed.
Goodness sakes.
He climbed a hill of cocaine and snorted his way down.
That was intense.
I was a little confounded again by Frank basically telling Velcoro, I'll tell you who gave me the name of this guy who was eventually murdered by Velcoro, by Ray. I'll tell you the name of this guy, but I need you to help me. I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this now the parameters of the deal? How does Ray not even push back more? Be like, dude, I've been doing you favors for years. You gave up the wrong guy. Give me the name of this person who set me up. If what you say you claim is true.
And that's such a bullcrap argument anyway. So there's this even shadier person that really screwed over Velcoro. What?
Yeah.
How on any way does that matter? I just think Velcoro's playing another. He's got to have something else going on. I'm hoping.
He wusses out basically. I mean, I think he just backs down.
You think he just lacks the guts to pull that trigger?
Yeah, I think he can't. He knows if he kills Frank, he's gonna die. I mean, obviously it was gonna be by Jordan or one of his henchmen, and he didn't have the guts to do it, even if it was justified, even if killing Frank was some kind of justice for him. It would. He just doesn't have the courage to really kill himself.
I don't know, man. Velcoro is sort of a mystery, and then he sort of, like you said, goes on this cocaine binge burnout thing after his.
Well, before that, he hangs out with his son.
Yeah, after the supervised meeting.
Depressing hang of the year.
Woof.
Whew, man, I'm not sure what was worse, the oppressive environment created by the supervisor, or just how lame Velcoro's a parent, son is. He's such a loser.
Oh, he's 10 years old.
I know, but he's a dweeb.
Be nice to the poor
His
kid.
dad's
He's had
trying
a
to
hard
like be
life.
emotional. He's just like face planting into a pizza and trying to find Friends reruns.
Stealth bombers kill people. Man.
Although I do want to vouch for that Friends reference because our sister Allie Dar loves Friends, and
No way.
She's like 19, 18.
Friends was done before she was practically born.
Yeah, I know, dude. Netflix.
That doesn't make any sense.
She loves Friends. I never saw an episode. I was alive when it was on.
Yeah, no, I was never really into it. Mary Beth likes it, but that's about it.
Yeah, man. Allie loves Friends. So that is an accuracy. Maybe that's something Nick Pizzolatto is experiencing.
His kids are over there
as a
binging
father.
Friends. Well, he's making like these artful TV serials.
Yeah, these hyper dark, like satanic cop dramas.
I'll let you kids watch this when you're 22 years old,
Yeah,
but not before.
25.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that was the funniest scene of the week.
What? Which scene?
Ray and his depressing visit with his kid.
Oh, his son. Okay, and then right afterwards, that's when he spirals, breaks everything, and basically gives up his son.
He gets all the cocaine in Vinci, snorts it, chasing it with an entire bottle of Cuervo.
Rocking out to some like 90s punk rock.
70s. I believe it was the New York Dolls.
Oh, is that what it was?
And, oh yeah, rocking out. That was awesome.
That was hilarious.
I think he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes and broke all of his model planes.
Yeah, all that work on the planes, man.
Well, he's getting evicted anyways. Don't
I
forget
guess
about
that's true.
that.
Don't forget about that another random, completely useless side plot that has no bearing on anything.
Him getting evicted?
Yeah.
I think that was a different kind of scene.
I don't know. Anyway.
So that was also hilarious. I guess that was just the funniest 2 scenes of the week. Just gets coked up, stays up until morning, then calls his wife. He's like, "You can have my loser son. I'm done with him.
Oh gosh.
I'll go away."
Just don't tell him about all of that drama. He's already messed up enough.
Yeah, just let him think I abandoned him. Not that he's the son of a rapist.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness sake, that poor kid. Oh, if
That
there's
kid's in a
one moral
lose-lose
to this
situation.
episode, it's that kids pay the price.
Yeah. How's that for a theme?
And I think that's why they kept the scene with Semyon and the kid is the parallels between the 2 conversations.
Yeah. That would make sense. Wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, thematic relevance.
Just what we need more of in this season of True Detective. At least it wasn't about the kids' sexual problems.
Oh yeah, jeez. See, that's why this episode was my favorite. Like, there was no Woodrow freaking out about his sexuality or Annie freaking about well, maybe a little bit about hers. Yeah.
Well, she's freaking out, but it's actually the first time that's been expressed tastefully.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
Without,
merited and motivated by the actual situation.
Yeah, exactly. There's no fat hand of exposition slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the reason I wanted Paul to die. I think his character gets a lot more interesting the moment he's dead.
Here's my question.
His kid, who maybe Valcoro adopts him. Who knows? Maybe Valcoro gets his second chance of fatherhood.
Do you think we're going to get any redemption for all of Woodrow's like myriad of plots? The Black Mountain stuff, the homosexuality, the kid.
Number one choice to die. Number one choice.
Do you think that's going to go anywhere, or you think they're just going to drop him?
If Vegas was setting odds, he's going to die.
Maybe.
I mean,
he seems to be the one character least wanting. Well, no, he pretty much has a suicide wish too. Yeah, they all want to die,
dude.
pretty much.
Yeah. He definitely wants to kill himself. Frank wants to live the most, Valcora wants to die the most.
Oh yeah, I wasn't talking about Frank. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul is extremely suicidal. And Annie, I don't know how suicidal she is.
She did go into that crazy orgy scene without any... Well, I guess she had backup, but still.
I think she had like a tracker beacon like stuffed in her undies.
Yeah. I love Woodrow as Q. Take this beacon.
Yeah.
Super cool looking.
And the funny thing was, it's actually bigger than the tracking device I gave our father for Christmas this year.
Oh, really?
It's bigger. The one I got Dad is the size of a quarter.
Yeah, that one was 3-dimensional.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Another piece of dark humor. Put it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Oh
man. So, there is a really important scene. Wait, were we stuck on something with Valcoro, or can we talk about these orphans and the back to the Blue Diamonds?
Oh yeah, can we talk about that scene? That was the one I had no idea what was happening. Who was that guy?
All right, so that was an ex-cop being interviewed by
But that's not
Woodrow.
Valcoro's dad?
No, that wasn't Valcoro's dad.
Because he was talking about the what was it? The riots, and Valcoro's dad was talking about the riots earlier in the season.
Yeah, so that's a recurring motif, like a actual popular event or current event that happened in real life that has a bit of an influence on the show. But I mean, more so, it seems to have an influence on the police department. Just like all these cops got out of the force basically after these riots were just too much to witness.
What were the riots? Did you look up the event?
I'm guessing they're talking about like the Rodney King riots, race riots.
Is that what you're assuming?
Yeah, or I'm assuming it's some kind of South Los Angeles race riot that happened in the 90s. I believe there was 2 incidents.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyways, that's really inconsequential though, because he's talking about where the diamonds were originally stolen. That's what Woodrow's interviewing him. And it was right after the riots, but it just got kind of lost in the paperwork stack from that time. And it was like an execution. He talks about how like these guys came in. It was a tactical murder. They took the security footage, executed the store owners, which was a couple, and their kids were like in a safety or in a glass display case or something, hiding. And like had to stare at their dead parents for like 15 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, so immediately...
And what does this have to do with anything?
Exactly. So immediately when I saw those kids, you know what I saw? Mayor Chesani's kids.
Really? Were they adopted?
No, well, were they adopted?
And also, is there a girl?
Mrs. Chesani, yeah, there was a boy and a girl. Mrs. Chesani killed herself when they were very, very young.
Yeah.
What could have driven her mad? Maybe the fact that she couldn't bear children. Maybe the fact that her kids were adopted. I don't know. I think it's very likely. I think it's a very it could be a part of could connect Chesani to the Blue Diamonds, even though that's an obvious line to draw. So we'll see. That's a theory though I'm definitely buying into.
Even if that's the way it actually ends up going, I don't know. These side plots are just driving me up a wall.
Oh, it's so much, man. I thought Game of Thrones was complicated with characters.
Well, Game of Thrones is complicated, but at least like there's a through line and they're tying it all together. Maybe it's because they're moving from a hyper complicated book and they're trying to constantly streamline things. But man, this season has just been a myriad of... And I know that's part of the theme, right? You know, that's why we get all those overhead shots of the interconnected highways and all of these threads sort of weaving in and out together.
Yeah, I just see it as another chance to talk about, to allude simply to fatherhood, strange origins.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
We seem to be constantly getting that.
Yeah, I just can't imagine at this point that the payoff on any of these side plots are going to be near worth the time and investment the show has put into them. Whereas I am enjoying the payoff on the chase, the main sort of storyline. I feel like we've been really down on this week's episode, even though it's my favorite so far.
Well, we're just being dismissive of certain things. I mean, we talked up the whole orgy scene for a long time, which we both really liked.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But, we're just sort of making fun of, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying watching it. I'm enjoying tracking all the different ridiculous, I'm tracking every little ridiculous, side scene, taking everything into account. I know it's not all going to pay off.
No, there's
what's the consequence if Chisani's kids are adopted and they watch these people get murdered? They're just darker characters. What?
We just haven't spent enough time with Chisani's kids to even care to even have sympathy for them. They've been
but Tony Chisani is so important.
Yeah, the actual mayor's important. We spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah. Well, and his son. No, and his son. His son has not been on screen a lot, but his actions are widely felt.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Let's take a break. My rice is done cooking, so I'm gonna go take it off the heat.
All right.
Mama even serves us sometimes fine. But silly as he seems, beans will give you your protein. My good buddy right is an energy divine. Put us together as a team. We've got a flavor that's supreme. Beans and rice, beans and rice. Once or twice or even thrice.
So where does shredding someone's prick with a cheese grater fall in the Ray Valcoro threat power rankings?
I think it's one step down from the abusing the random child's father who made fun of your son.
Oh, sodomizing the father with his headless mother's corpse?
Yeah. But one step above whatever he did to Pinker, the therapist person.
Pitler.
Yeah. That guy just got the fool beat out of him with some sort of the crazy club thing. Cheese graters and yeah.
In terms of pure intimidation, he's followed through on 2 of the 3. We assume he'll follow through on the 3rd, given the chance. I would say that the headless sexual act still takes the 1 spot for me, but this comes in easy at number 2.
Yeah, I agree for sure. It was a super disturbing scene. Also, really problematic. That guy looked nothing like the description.
Yeah. I just want to say, Valcoro doesn't seem like much of a cook, but I'll take his word for it on that one. That guy is not redheaded. He's not even that Irish looking, as we know our boy Farrell is very Irish looking.
Yeah.
Concerning. Possible hole?
Are you saying it's a plot hole, or are we saying that it's just another hole in Simeon's sort of story?
Or Simeon's? Oh, well, this isn't Simeon's story. This is
States, I guess, yeah.
The States. Did they say there's a DNA match as a rapist?
And I think Valcoro looked it up, so I'm assuming that's true.
Yeah, so I guess I interpreted this as a question mark.
It's really weird.
Another question mark. I mean, are any of our questions answered this season? No. I mean, we don't even know for sure that Valcoro killed that guy. I mean, maybe they've acknowledged it in dialogue at this point.
Yeah, no, he said he didn't even ask him a question. He just shot him.
Oh, okay.
Remember during his conversation with Simeon?
Well, he didn't ask Simeon any questions either. He just took his words and went and shot the guy. He didn't ask any questions at any point.
No.
He's such a bad detective.
He's the worst detective. He is not the true detective. Whatever the crap that even means.
No. He's a true cokehead.
He is a terrible detective.
He's a truly bad father.
He doesn't really have a lot of strengths besides drinking a lot and snorting a lot of coke without killing himself.
And surviving. I think he's a survivor.
Yeah, it's true. He's a survival.
Much like our boy Russ Cole from season 1.
Yeah, although Russ Cole had a ton of really useful skills.
He had some useful skills. I mean, he was literate. We don't even know that about Velcoro.
Have we seen Velcoro read something this season? I'm not sure.
The only thing I think he knows how to read is a prescription bottle.
To make sure it doesn't have his name on it.
One guy we know got plenty of reading in this morning. Maybe a novel of high-end literature is our boy Frank Semien.
Oh my gosh. I still want to see his library.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have binoculars because it probably extends for miles.
Yeah.
Bring your walking shoes. So, besides that waste of a scene with Stan's poor child, poor Stan.
Poor Stan. Feel so bad for the character I never even cared about to begin with.
Yeah, we got that awesome interrogation. Frank throws a few nails into this guy who gives up an address.
Yeah.
And what is that address? Where does that address lead him to? Our old friends, the Hispanic gangsters.
Yeah, you knew those guys were going to come back.
Yeah, and they came back quick. Which I guess there was only so much time to work with.
Yeah. They introduced him in one episode because they'll need him in the next one. It was a bit, again, super convenient.
Yeah. They're not falling out of the sky, but they're running through the doors.
They are. Although it gave me probably one of my favorite lines in the entire series. Knock this one off my bucket list. A Mexican standoff with real Mexicans.
Oh, that was so good.
That was the best.
Yeah, man. Velcoro's at his best when he's being slightly offensive.
You mean Semien?
Semien, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love that. That was such a great line. That's probably his best line of the season.
I think that was Vince Vaughn at his best. And not even that super illiterate. I just loved it. It was so funny.
Yeah, which maybe, talking at our level, talking down to us.
Yeah.
So he ends up cracking a deal with these guys, though. A year of fee-free drug dealing in his Choice Vincy club, America's most polluted city. In exchange for the girl who pawned off the watch of Casper's.
And then they kill that girl after
she tells us that a cop sold her or gave her that stuff with $500.
Yeah. Which, well, do you want to talk about who we think that is?
Let's save that. Let's talk about these Mexican gangsters a little bit more. Do we have names yet? I think I missed his name.
I have no idea.
Oh man.
Just the one Semien is made up for them. I forget what he called the one guy.
Did he call him Guatemala or something?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, just assume it was just something stereotypical.
Yeah, so they kill the girl, and then apparently Vince Vaughn is just stuck. Semien, I guess, just accepts the fact that he was outgunned in the place where they met them, and he just has to take it.
Yeah, I also think he walked into a really awkward situation.
Yeah, I felt like that was the same construction yard junk area that all of Breaking Bad's bad deals went down in.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that, what's his name, Turo?
Oh, Tuco. I thought Tuco was going to walk in.
I thought Tuco was going to waltz around from the corner, like Better Call Saul.
This whole season was a prequel to Breaking Bad.
And just like, he crushes the guy's head wearing the cowboy hat, eats his eyeballs.
Classic.
And then asks Frank if he wants to hit at meth. So, after so Tuco and the boys seem, they're rough characters. They murder this chick, but they still take their 3-4 days a week at the club. So Frank seems like he's up against the wall, but that would seem like a bad place to renegotiate an agreement.
Yeah, I
didn't really know where everyone was at. Didn't know where there was guns hidden in the field.
I think he pretty much took it as a loss and walked away, which feels really sketchy, but I don't know.
Unfrank-like.
Yeah, again, another scene where like these characters are boxed in and they just decide, well, I guess I'm not going to fight.
Yeah. And he's been the aggressor. He's been throwing all the punches, but it's an unknown party. Maybe he's trying to get a feel for him. They're going to be in his club, so you'll have a close eye on him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I agree.
And then we have the detective. So there's a cop that gave the evidence, the Casper watch that was pawned off to this unnamed woman who was murdered. He was tall, thin. We also know that Valcoro was shot by the Birdman with a riot gauge, which is police gear. They don't really sell those shells at Walmart. So the Birdman, we can say with confidence, is a cop.
Yeah, I think all signs point to the same character. And we pretty much can assume that it's not the obvious suspect, which is the dead partner.
Yeah.
Who's dead.
Yeah. Well, he seemed to be manipulating things in a different way. It seems like Detective Burris is trying to manipulate larger exposure of the corruption in Vinci.
And you might say to yourself, Detective Burris, who the crap is this guy? And I'm pretty sure we've never even heard his name spoken out loud. And you are probably correct.
You probably are, but he is that charming, sort of strange-looking, tall fellow who kindly informs Valcoro at the beginning of last episode, the episode before this one, that he was being evicted. Also, that he could get his job back with the department if he wanted.
Right. And he was the guy all along saying, just so you know, you can handle this however you want to handle this.
Yeah.
Be shady.
So, he seems like the prime suspect for the Birdman, but whereas earlier in the season, I suspected that the Birdman was an agent working for the shadow group that makes up Ossip and Blake and Tony and Chasani and all these guys. No, I think that he's a renegade. He's an anarchist trying to shed light on this collusion.
So he shoots Valcoro to get the tapes, and to make sure that the investigation continues, he makes sure that it's non-lethal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like that's really one of the only explanations that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, from the information we have from watching the series, the action that's taking place on screen, that's the only conclusion I can make. So why don't we take a break from that and get to what everyone's been waiting for. Frank or Fake version 3. The fake lines are back, baby.
I know you like that more. All right.
Go. 5,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're back with another edition of Frank or Fake. Insert audio clip here. So, in order to get into full character, we are a clean podcast, but I'm gonna have to use the full language here and bleep it out of the post edit because it just doesn't work. It won't be as believable without the full effect, the full anguish. So, Drew, you know the rules. We're going back to the originals. That's right. It's either a fake Frank Semien quote or a real Frank Semien quote. Are you ready?
I don't know. You've been talking this week's Frank or Fake up, so I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah. You should be. Now, hopefully, I can nail it. It's a big vocabulary. No teasing when I stumble over words. I'm going to do my best for enunciation. All right, here we go. Quote 1. It's Thanksgiving dinner, Ray. The whole family is here, and I'm stuck at the fucking kids' table.
Okay, so he says the name Ray in it. Thanksgiving. I'm gonna say it is fake.
You are correct.
Ah! I'm so nervous.
Good one.
That was a tough one.
That is a tough one. It's a good quote.
That is a good quote.
Props to the user who came up with that on Twitter.
I felt like that would have fit really nicely in some of those early episodes when he's freaking out about getting in with Catalyst.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right, here's the next one. Someone hit the fucking warp drive, and I'm trying to navigate through the blur.
Oh yeah, no, that's real. That was from last week.
Oh, but it's so good.
That's a great quote, though.
It's so ridiculous.
Also, so he's a Trekkie?
I I believe we have the evidence. Of course, we know that.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's a Trekkie, Drew. Shut up. Next quote. Curiosity may have killed the cat, Kimosabe, but I murdered that dog.
What? That's fake. Kiwasabe? What? I've never heard of. Is it fake?
Yeah, it's fake.
Oh, good.
You got another one right, Drew. You're on a hot streak.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Wow. You're already doing better than I thought. All right. Life dealt me a bad hand, Ray, but I worked at it. I got all the cards together until I became the dealer. But now we're playing chess.
Ooh. I think this actually happened. I don't know. Although all these things with Ray in them seem to be fakes, but yeah, I'm gonna go with fake.
Sorry, Drew, you got that one wrong.
It was real.
It was a real quote.
Oh, that's tricky.
That's a tricky one.
I'm playing like by SAT rules, right? So if you find a pattern, try and stick with it.
No pattern here. No pattern.
No, there's no pattern here. That was good. Yeah, I seem to remember that from some of the earlier episodes where he's trying to exude that confidence.
Yeah, and he got screwed. They're playing a whole nother game now. So, sort of the theme of the next quote. When I was younger, my Uncle Rick took me to the batting cages every 2 weeks or so. I feel like I'm in the batting cages now, but someone's locked me in the cage and taken my bat. The only question left is, do I catch the balls or do I dodge them?
Dodgeball. That's gotta be fake.
Correct.
It's ridiculous. Although I kind of want him to make an illusion of the dodgeball.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't work that into the script.
I can't see little Frank, little poor impoverished Frank, locked into the batting cages without a bat.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't let anyone take the bat. All right, next. All my life I've been bringing knives to gunfights, Ray. And now that I got a gun, the whole world switched back to knives.
That's an amazing quote, but I think it's fake.
Sorry, that's a real quote.
Oh!
Got him.
Oh! I'm on a losing streak now.
Yeah, you got a couple wrong in a row.
Oh, now see, I've thrown off my game. I went with my gut on that one, and my gut said there's no way they would be that on the nose with everything.
Yeah, that one's a little silly. That one's like sillier than some of the fake ones.
Doesn't make any sense.
Some people say it's not the size of the boat, but rather the motion of the ocean. Well, guess what, Ray? I can't even swim. Never even had a bath.
What? That's 100% fake.
Correct.
I never even had a bath?
Oh, man.
Also, I don't think Frank would ever say motion of the ocean.
Yeah, I know. I don't think
it's
so.
It's a bit
either.
too, like, 70s new agey weirdness.
But it's so good. My father once told me a story about how at the height of the Cold War, the space race, the Americans were investing millions of dollars in developing a pen that could write in space. The Russians, they used a pencil. That's me, Ray. I'm the fucking pencil. Casper's killers knew this, and now they're trying to erase everything I've ever built.
What?
That's me, Ray. I'm the fucking pencil.
I so want that to be true, but there's no way that's true.
It's a real quote!
He really said that?
Yes.
I'm the pencil?
Yes. And then he said, Casper's killers knew this. And now they're trying to erase everything I've ever built.
What?
That is a bad line.
You know, if there's one thing I'm learning with these Frank or Fake seasons, is this season has some infamously terrible dialogue.
Absolutely. That guy had so much lateral movement, lateral motion range with his writing. It's absurd. So with that being asked, I got 3 more.
Oh no, you have another 3? My goodness.
I
Okay,
got a
here
lot
we go.
this week. There's a lot of good material.
Buckle down.
You got to be a step ahead of the farmer. You got to eat the cobbler.
Gotta be a step ahead of the farmer?
You got to eat the cobbler.
I think I do remember that. So I'm gonna say it's real.
That's a fake one.
Oh my gosh! I am losing this so poorly.
I told you it was going to be hard to break 50%.
So my mind said, why would he be making farmer references? He's a city boy. That makes no sense. But then I thought about the pencil.
He's going
So
space
it's gotta
race.
be true.
Exactly. That's how I planned this game. As you get deeper into the wormhole, you don't know which direction is up. As you get deeper into the semi and quote hole, it becomes hard to tell the difference.
Up is down and down is up.
So here's the next one. Life's a pinata. Casper knew this. Sometimes you're the one swinging the bat, and sometimes you're the one left scrambling for the last pieces of candy.
I'm gonna say that one's real.
Wrong again.
Oh my god!
I knew that one would get you.
Oh my gosh! These are so good. Where did you find these?
Reddit. All credit to Reddit.
Is there like a subreddit on fake Frank quotes?
No, but on the True Detective subreddit, there's a lot of different threads.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so great work on the subreddit, everyone. That's all the credit is to you. So, we got one last quote.
Oh, so
Frank?
much pressure.
Or fake.
I think I'm under 50 now.
If you get this, I think you'll be right at 50.
Yeah.
We'll go back and calculate it. It's a dog-eat-dog world, Ray, and I'm the fucking Chinaman.
What? That doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna say it's real.
You were right.
Oh yes!
I think that got you out of the house. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. You got just over 50.
How many were there? 9?
You got 7 out of 12.
7 out of 12. Perfect.
Well, far from perfect, but
I just wanted to bat over 50%.
you're in the batter cage, man. But they took your bat. Are you gonna catch the balls or are you gonna dodge them?
What was the other option? Hit them?
Do I catch the balls or do I dodge them?
You can't catch. No. Nope. No.
Yeah, that's why it's a bad metaphor. And you got that one right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Congrats.
Originally, I was very confident. I was using logic. But then, once that pencil quote dropped, the Russians used pencil.
Well, you slipped up on the all my life I've bringing knives to gunfights, Ray. And now that I've got a gun, the whole world switched back to knives.
Was that real or fake? I
That's
forget.
a real quote.
That is ridiculous.
That's a terrible line. I love it. But that's why I love this season. That's True Detective Season 2 for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't appreciate that, you can't appreciate the show. That's why we'll be back next week.
Yeah, with more Taxmen. Doing your taxes. Week in and week out.